guys do Klaus make out stuff.
Thanks, Shelby, for reading. The next book is Jennifer Lewis. She's the co-creator of the Red Light Lit reading series, which you should all check out, and Literary Journal. Her fiction has been published in Transfer Magazine, 14 Hills, and Sparkling Words. In 2012, she was also the recipient of the Leo Litwick Award for Creative Nonfiction. Here's Jennifer.
Hi everyone, this is an excerpt of a fiction story, and we won't get to the end of it. So, that's what you need to know. It's called Saturday Morning. Just before sunrise, Tanya and her older sister drove to a clinic 3 suburbs away, to one of the wealthier neighborhoods that they rarely drove through. Neither of the girls spoke in the car nor turned on the radio. Tanya noticed there were more trees in this town, and there weren't any sidewalks. Just big houses spread far apart from each other, much different than her apartment complex and glued together buildings. The elm trees in this part of Illinois concealed the clinic so much that they almost missed their turn. When they pulled into the parking lot, they saw a family of geese walking across the narrow path that led to the rust-colored building, and 2 middle-aged women and 1 man standing in front of it. The people's eyes were closed, their hands were folded beneath girthy bellies, and their lips mumbled unsynchronized prayers. "Don't look when you walk past them," Nicole said. Tanya nodded. Nicole cut the engine before Tanya's hand reached the door. White knuckles knocked on the glass. Tanya saw a thin woman with an angular face, watery blue eyes, and shiny coral lips. The lady motioned for Tanya to roll down the window. Tanya looked at Nicole, who gestured to her to get out of the car. Cautiously, Tanya opened the door. "Good morning," the woman said. "Hey," Tanya replied. Her eyes moved up and down the lady's velour sweatsuit. Tanya had a sweatsuit just like that at home, but the lady's fabric looked more plush, less faded, midnight blue. "Can I help you?" Nicole said over the roof of the red Civic. The lady lowered her voice and spoke only to Tanya. "I was wondering if I could talk to you for a second." Tanya craned her neck to look at Nicole. Nicole stayed on the side of her car, her elbows resting on the warm roof. "Has anyone talked to you about your options?" The lady spoke softly. "Options?" Tanya repeated. "You must feel different," the lady replied. Tanya gazed at the wide-spreading roots of an old elm tree. She had felt something take space in her body almost immediately. She didn't even have to wait for the plus sign or the day after her missed period. She just knew. There was no doctor's appointment or ultrasound taken. She had only told her boyfriend, then Nicole, who said she would take care of it. "Do you know how far along you are?" the lady asked. Tanya kept her eyes on the elm's slippery bark. Thanks to the internet, she knew everything. She knew it was the size of a kidney bean, and if she waited longer, a blueberry, then a kumquat. She had never tasted a kumquat, and now she never would, because it was a fruit that she would want to forget. She nodded. "Yes." "What's your name?" the lady asked affectionately. Tanya knew enough to not say her name. "I'm Laura. I'm here to help you." Nicole shut the door and walked over. "Are you at the clinic?" Laura held Tanya's gaze. "Do you want to talk to someone before you go in there?" "If you're not with the clinic," Nicole continued, "please get out of her way." "I'm not in her way," Laura said, never taking her eyes off Tanya. "I'm here to support you." Nicole looked confused. "What can you do to support her?" "I'm giving her a voice," Laura said. looking at Nicole for the first time. Nicole was taller than both of them, with broad shoulders and a long neck. She wore a gray tank top and purple mesh shorts. Her carved legs made Laura think that she ran track. Laura envisioned hurdles, batons, the triple jump, anything she could to find a way to connect with her. In high school, Laura ran the 800 and 1600 relays. She still ran about 3 miles a day. If only she could make them understand that 9 months was such a short period of time. And if Tanya wanted to play sports like her older sister, she still could. Laura had 2 children, and in her 30s, she still ran a mile at the same pace she had when she was 18, the age she guessed Tanya was now. "Have you talked to anyone about this?" Laura asked Tanya. "Tanya, walk around her," Nicole said. "I have an idea," Laura spoke to them both. "Why don't you come across the street with me to the birth choice clinic and talk to a counselor? And if you still decide to come back here, I will walk you in myself." Laura knew that once people walked across the street, it was highly unlikely that they would return. "The counselors have all the resources you need," Laura said. "Resources?" Tanya raised her tone. "There are tons of resources available to you if you walk next door." Tanya looked down at the clumpy soil. Her body pulsed with the insects. She had just learned about natural resources in school. She pictured waterfalls, windmills, and creeks. She wondered what this woman could do for her. "What do you think you are?" Nicole shaked her head at Laura. "You're meddling in people's lives." "I help people get information and support," Laura retorted. Her voice sounded a little robotic, like it came from a script in a 3-ring binder. She reminded herself to stay calm, to make it personal. "I'm here for Tanya." Nicole tapped her foot on the pavement. Hearing this woman say her name, her sister's name, filled her with rage. This woman didn't care about Tanya. She didn't even know Tanya. She only cared about her own beliefs. Nicole held her aggression back. She wanted to protect Tanya from all of this. She had driven here yesterday to make sure there weren't any picketers or zealots jumping out of bushes screaming verses from Deuteronomy. The praying people were there, but they didn't even look up at her when she sailed past to confirm Tanya's appointment. "I want to go to college," Tanya finally spoke, to no one in particular, maybe to the elm trees. "You don't understand." This was the line that Laura heard the most. Everyone thought that she couldn't possibly understand, that termination was the only way. "I have helped others," Laura said to Tanya. "I can help you too." Because of the conviction in her voice, Tanya almost believed her. In some ways, she was helping her now, slowing down the process and loosening the knots in her stomach. She didn't know exactly what this woman can do, but it felt like she can reverse time, stop the sperm from backflipping into her ovaries, and release the air out of her swelling breast. "So what do you say?" Laura asked Tanya. "Can I walk you over?"
Reading. That was fabulous. Thank you again to Soja for hosting us. This has been really fun. And to 1111, it's been great to do this with you.
Thank you.
And I do have the raffle prize, and it's a Pier 31 family fun pack. It's 4 cruise tickets, carousel tickets, it's 7 G experience tickets, aquarium tickets, and parking downtown. That's probably worth more than everything else. And the winner is Jessie.
Good seeing it.
I think that.